Welcome to Quick Stop F1. My name is Nyasha and you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that and welcome to Nyasha's Notebook, the show where we give you all the rundown of the latest F1 session. Think Ted's Notebook, but the version that you get of Timu, of Sheehan in them man. No, we're not in Suzuka, but if you close your eyes, you can imagine that this right here is the relayed turf at Suzuka, Section 1. Look at this sunshine. This is probably better weather in Manchester right now than they have right there in Suzuka, Japan, at Suzuka in Japan. So, let yourself be transported. If you like what you see and what you hear, make sure to give this a like and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating and remember to leave a review on Apple Podcasts if you want an ad-free stream. Patreon's there, and thank you to all the patrons and members on the channel for your support. You help to support independent journalism, just like this. Where's your money going? Who knows? Well, Suzuka, Japan. Wow. What a sack of shit that was. What an absolute sack of shite that race was. My goodness. God, these regulations are so bad. You know what's mad? It's like F1. I feel like I'm in a toxic relationship with F1. Like, I swear to God, why would I think that waking up at the crack of dawn, at the ass crack of dawn, to watch the Japanese Grand Prix would yield me excitement, would yield me fucking any semblance of happiness? It's always a dry race. It's always difficult to overtake. And these regulations have absolutely nailed on the fact that no one was ever going to be doing any overtaking. For the first time at a permanent racetrack, the top 6 finished in the positions they started. Do you know how ridiculous that is? That is Monaco 6. In fact, do you know the last time that happened? That's right, fucking Monaco. What an absolute shit show. These regulations ensure that no one can really follow. The tyres are shite. And I just feel like, what are we doing here with these regulations? Whose idea was this? And I'm pretty sure, even when they were announced, people were like, you know what, these regulations, I don't think they're going to yield all the racing that you think they will. So let's see. Last season was a banger towards the end. And it did kick off from Miami onwards. And I guess you look at the tracks, you would think that China, you would think that we'd have some excitement there. And obviously we did with Lewis in the sprint, but even then, just in general, we're not looking at incredible levels of excitement. Australia was great because everyone kept binning it. Like, if it was a dry race, wouldn't really expect much overtaking there. So you're thinking Bahrain next on the calendar, that should be a race where there's overtaking. And if there's a lack of overtaking in Bahrain, then God save us. God save us all. But let's get into it. Max Verstappen, the winner, pole, lights to flag, pretty dominant, had the McLAREN boys in his little back pocket the whole time, didn't he? And another one, there you go, a 4th year in a row that he's won at Suzuka. He's won there in 2 different decades now. Clearly, obviously, because obviously one of them was in 2019. But yeah, I say now. Like, this is 2020. Oh my God. But either way, yeah, Max Verstappen, well done. You are a race winner this season, first win, and very clearly, sorry, this stick is quite uncomfortable. Very clearly, Max Verstappen is a contender for the championship this season. And you would think that any rumblings of discontent of Max within Red Bull, you'd think that, that would be eroded away race by race if he continues on this trajectory. He's had some solid results this season, but today really did seem to seal the deal on a solid start to the season. And he looked imperious out there. Again, if you close your eyes, almost feel like nothing's changed at all. Because that could have been Seb Vettel in that Red Bull 2010 to 13 pole position, take the lead, and just manage the pace. There were times where we thought maybe the tyres were going off, and then GP sending that message to say, look, mate, you can push now. I think we all knew from that point that boy was not going to get caught, unfortunately. So, Max Verstappen, P1, congratulations to Red Bull. Yuki Tsunoda in 12th. Feel sorry for Yuki in that he was drafted in, still getting used to the car, and it was essentially, a tough weekend for him. No one was making any moves, but he still managed to pass Liam Lawson, got his get back for finishing behind him in qualifying, and then he didn't really go anywhere after that. But all he's going to do is string some good performances together from now until the end of the season, and you'd like to think that he would be, favourite to keep that seat, right? So let's see how that goes for Yuki. But good day for Max Verstappen at Red Bull. McLaren, Lando Norris second, Oscar Piastri third. McLaren. How do you describe McLaren? McLaren are so risk averse, and it's going to cost them. Because if you are not going to use your numerical advantage of having two drivers behind Max Verstappen, at least try and go long with one of the drivers and have them hold up Max Verstappen or something. Or I don't know, do something. Like what they did. Like how you could have Lando Norris come in at the exact same time as Max Verstappen and not try and overcut, or not try and do something different so that there's a tyre offset at the end, at least. I just find it quite ridiculous, to be honest, that they just didn't think that was an option. Lando Norris, obviously, Lando Norris trying to claim Lando Norris, right? Oh God, there's a train going past, if we can hear that. Lando Norris did the equivalent of a dive in football today. Lando Norris should have got a yellow card for that. In no way and in no sense was Lando Norris pushed over by Max Verstappen in the pit lane exit as they came out together. He could have taken some of his wing off. The way that he kind of drove on the grass there. So for him to try and claim that Max pushed him off was clearly signs of a desperate man. But desperate times call for desperate measures. And I just don't think McLaren had the pace today to win outright, which they would have seen from the first stint. So at least try and offset. But I don't know. I don't think they're built for this, McLaren. I really don't think they're built for this. And if they're not built for this, then they need to get the fuck to the side, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Skedaddle. What are you doing? We need more from you. Because Red Bull are an outfit that, when they smell blood, they're going to fucking bite. They're going to attack. They will try different things. McLaren cannot. I mean, maybe they just look. Maybe they know, like they're just going to take second and thirds, and they'll take their licks as they were, as you describe them, and then from there, who knows? Maybe they'll go on to the next race and they'll see in Bahrain. But Bahrain, notoriously not a track McLaren have done well at throughout the years, although that may be because it was first and their cars weren't as good. So let's see how they perform, but you want to see more from them. This is a qualifying season, clearly. Where you qualify will greatly determine where you finish in the race, and these two drivers have the quickest cars. One of those two should be on pole position every fucking race. The fact that they weren't today or weren't yesterday for today's race should warn them that this is imperative. You cannot be fucking around on Saturday and try and make it up on Sunday, because it's not going to happen. You cannot follow with these cars. Your tyres are going to get mashed up. The cars are too close. There's not that much of a differential for you to cruise up to someone and overtake them. So yeah, I think it actually even shows, really and truly, how much differential they maybe had last year, that they were able to cruise up to people and just overtake them, which maybe shows how much of a bottle job it was last season. But let's see with McLaren. But the strategy is not great. And also, Oscar, second race in a row, maybe second race in 3, sorry, where Oscar has said he's had more pace and has essentially tried to push Lando Norris along. That is going to be a theme, I think, throughout the season. And if Oscar doesn't want to be in that situation, he needs to qualify better. That is it. There's not really that much more to it. Oscar, if you qualify better, then you'll be in front of Lando, and then you won't have to ask for team orders, which you're not going to get, Oscar. You're not going to get those team orders. So I would say, honestly, try to figure out a different way to manage races. And I think that's going to have to be through qualifying in front. Ferrari, Charles Leclerc finishing in 4th. Great result for Charles given the circumstances. Lewis Hamilton in 7th. Ferrari are not a happy camp at all. At all. Ferrari are very much not singing from the same hymn sheet. Charles Leclerc says he feels like he maximized the most from his setup. Lewis Hamilton says that there's a component on his car that is slowing him down to the tune of a 1/10 per second. And Fred Vasseur is saying that Ferrari need to figure out what's going on with their car before they put on any upgrades. But Lewis Hamilton's of the opinion that there's going to be upgrades at the next race. So it doesn't seem like everyone is extremely coherent at Ferrari, which doesn't sound like Ferrari, right? Ferrari, incoherent? What? Welcome to Ferrari, guys. But yeah, pretty underwhelming start for Ferrari. For a team where people had put them up there to be, going for the constructors title, going for race wins based on their end to 2025 and the fact that they were so strong. They won races, both Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz winning races, finishing on the podium towards the back end of 2025. There was a lot of hope that this season the car would be a car that could challenge at the front, a car that could secure race wins. And unfortunately, the car, other than that, you see that sunshine shining on my face right now. Oh my God, that's glorious. That is the China sprint portion of the weekend. Anything outside of that has been a sack of shite. Absolute sack of shite. I don't know what's going on at Ferrari. It's not fun. Lewis Hamilton today on those hard tyres managed to make it around 32 laps, but it wasn't really, I mean, it was a long stint, but the fact that Kimi Antonelli managed to go longer on his tyres does make you concerned about the issues that people were kind of mentioning in testing around Ferrari's tyre preservation. And I just think at this moment in time, Ferrari don't seem like a front-running car. Now, once we get to Bahrain, will there be updates? Will there be improvements? I guess we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Not a great start to the season. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Not a great start to the season. But let's not. I feel like when it comes to Lewis Hamilton, people lose all sense of like context. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to Lewis Hamilton, like everyone else, you can apply the context. This car's got understeer. This car's got issues. This car's got that issues. But when it comes to Lewis Hamilton, he's washed. He's finished. He's done out. And it's like, well, okay, well, one, he's saying that there's a complaint on the car. I don't think, unless you're calling Lewis Hamilton a liar, which is a weird thing to call someone. So obviously there's something in his car that he says has been affecting to the tune of a 1/10 per second. 2, he's getting used to that car. And 3, the car is dog shit. Like, the car is dog shit. So I just think like grandiose statements of trying to judge Lewis Hamilton's season already just seems like if you want to see Lewis Hamilton fail, that's fine. That's on you. That's in your heart. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I get it. There's people on that grid that I want to fail. Why? Because that's what sporting rivalry is about. But I can like temper that hate with like knowledge. Like, do you know what I mean? There's people who claim that they have will knowledge this, will knowledge that, and then completely lose any semblance of context when it comes to Lewis Hamilton. He's finished. The legs have gone. Okay, all right. Well, the person whose legs have gone won 2 races last year, multiple podiums, and has a sprint win this year. Which I found out yesterday he didn't even count, apparently, according to one person on one particular channel whose name I will not mention. Right, at that point, this is a good place to take a break. And then from there, we'll discuss the rest of the grid, including a very spicy Alex Albon. Back after these messages. And we are back. Welcome back to the Nyasha's Notebook. If you got this far, give the video a like, and of course, give the video a rating and a Spotify review or comment, or Apple review or comment. All of them things there. So, Mercedes, George Russell in 5th, Kimi Antonelli in 6th. Again, just a solid race for Mercedes, really. Not much to call home about, although Kimi Antonelli, with that monster stint on those medium tyres, again, I mean, this kid, he's just, the fact that he's keeping up with George to the extent that he is, and able to be in and around where, maximising the capabilities of the car, given his relatively little experience in the sport, I just think is incredible. His qualifying lap was amazing. And he's really just, I want a lot of time for Kimi Antonelli. I think he's great. And I just think, great performance from Kimi to get into 6th place there. V-Cub, Isaac Hadjar in 8th place with obviously Liam Lawson in 17th. Great performance from Isaac Hadjar this weekend. He really, I think if I was going to put a star of the weekend, it'd probably go to Isaac. Great performance in qualifying, given the extremities, down by his extremities yesterday in qualifying. Um, and yeah, like, his first points in F1. So well done, Isaac. Team LH's nephew, definitely riding out. And to be fair, was the only person that obviously Lewis Hamilton overtook him during that overcut that he did, showing that an overcut could work. However, I think Lewis had a bit more free air than some of the others who tried it. But yeah, Liam Lawson. Yesterday I asked whether Jack Doohan was asking to get sacked from Alpine. I wonder whether Red Bull just don't like Liam Lawson, because the strategy they put him on today was appalling. He went long, and then they stuck him on some soft tyres, which were fucking useless. So he ended up in 17th place in the end. I think him and Carlos Sainz were the only two who tried the soft tyre, and it didn't work for either driver, really. Speaking of, Carlos Sainz finished in 14th place. Alex Albon in 9th. Alex Albon, talking very spicy on the radio multiple times, and it's not the first time either. I think it happened in China as well. I think it's hilarious. I don't want to do the whole like, wow, imagine if it was Lewis thing, but it's just funny. Like, and the thing is, like, when people bring up the Lewis thing, it's not because we want everyone to have that level of scrutiny. It's we want everyone to not have any scrutiny and to be able to just say whatever the fuck they want on the radio. And I think, whatever frustrations Alex had, clearly they were deep, but he was not happy. And it feels like, and I guess Albon fans, let us know if this is something else, but it feels like something that this is new. But I don't know. Maybe it's not new. I don't know. But yeah, very assertive, let's say, Alex Albon today on the radio. But Alex Albon in 9th, Carlos Sainz 14th. Haas, Ollie Behrman picking up the final point in 10th, which is great for him. Another solid performance, vastly outperforming Esteban Ocon down in 18th. Aston Martin, Fernando Alonso in 11th, Lance Stroll in 20th and last place. And I mean, Fernando Alonso's biggest achievement, or most notable achievement this year, has been how far he's been able to lodge Max Verstappen's dick down his mouth. Like, he has been giving Max the Gork Gork 3000 this weekend. Double-wristed fucking washing machine, car washing, sloppy, like, geez Louise, Fernando. We can see absolutely enamored by Max this weekend. Fair play. Good. Go on, Alonso. Fernando, good for you. Alpine, Pierre Gasly in 13th. Jack Doohan making up some places and finishing 15th in the end. And Sauber, Nico Hülkenberg 16th. Gabriel Bortoleto in 19th. What an uninspiring race. Honestly, I didn't even want to come out here today. I was like, look at this. I could have been in my house. I'm going to put some meat on the grill. I'm going to have a nice day. And then I have to talk about this race again on our podcast, which you should check out if you haven't. But my goodness, what a shit show. What a shit show of a race. Hopefully in Bahrain we'll have a better race. But if you're watching this on YouTube, Thank you so much. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We are on the way to 6,000. Can we get there this month? I think we can, and I hope we can. So if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. If you're listening on a podcast, leave us a review and a rating. If you want no adverts, the Patreon is there. And if you want to support the channel, the YouTube membership's there as well. I think something has just flown into my eye. That's lovely. I'm getting out of this park, back home. And remember, no matter what life throws at you, keep it on the black stuff. Until next time, take care.